Hello and welcome to Jessi FIT Pilates, your home to get fit, toned, and flexible as we strengthen, stretch, and smile. If you're here, get ready to have a ball. I have a big ball here. This one's actually a little bit deflated, which will make some of the moves harder. Just keep it in mind. You might want to blow yours up or keep it a little bit deflated depending on how challenging or unchallenging you want your workout to be. If it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe. I make fitness fun. We will be doing a total body workout today. We will be doing some classic Pilates moves, some moves with a twist. We'll be doing some standing, some laying down, some side work, kind of a 360-degree workout if you will. If anything doesn't feel right, as always, leave it out. We are going to start laying down. So lay on back and take your feet underneath on top of the ball. We're going to start with a variation on footwork. So I'm going to bring my feet to parallel and let's have the spine in a neutral position, so natural curve in the lower back. And this is just like I would do on a reformer. So I'm going to press the ball out and bring it in. I'm going to have a little bit of distance between my heels. I'm going to inhale and exhale. And try to keep enough weight in your heels so that the ball really, you can keep it out and in. Otherwise, if you don't keep enough tension on the ball, you'll kind of lose it. Taking your hands up will make this harder. And then from here, let's go ahead and bring your heels together and your toes apart. I'm going to bring my toes to touch the wall. And I'm going to try to keep my toes on the wall as I bend and stretch my knees. Keeping that neutral spine. And as you can see, if I really want to keep my toes on the ball, I really can't extend the legs all the way, right? Because if I do that, then my toes come off. So I want to try to keep my toes on the ball. Really paying attention to the feet today. Right, and I'm keeping that curve in my lower back, both sides of my waist long. You can always take the arms down. My shoulder blades are really stabilizing, and I have a little bit of a curve in the neck too. Now, from here, keep your toes on the wall. My heel is actually going to come up. I'm going to go to a one leg, reach out, and I'm in my turn out, and it's not really extending all the way out. So I'm trying to stay equal on both sides, and you can kind of reach the opposite leg out and really see if you keep your hips still, no movement from side to side. 3, 4, breathing. Keep even your shoulders still, don't let them move. One more time. And then switching legs, get your toes on. You're in that turnout position, reach out and in, reach out. Right, really keeping the toes on that ball leg down. Keeping your hips and your shoulders equal on the mat. So you're not letting one side sort of tilt down to the mat. Side. That's really what wants to happen here. And then we can move the other leg in opposition. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Bending and stretching. Tailbone stays reaching down. Last 3, 2, 1. Then go ahead and bring it on in. I'm going to take my arms down now. And I'm going to lift my hips and lower, really trying to roll down and up through my spine, tucking the tail, lifting, lowering, release, tuck, lift, lower, lower, tuck, lift, lower, lower. I come up. I come down, I go neutral. I'm trying to keep the ball as still as I can. I'm really feeling that in the back of my legs. Notice that my knees stay at 90 degrees. Now, let's see if you can keep the hips up. I'm not going super high. Reach out. Yeah, these are hard. Out. Yeah. I'm keeping my knees together here. Staying really equal on my shoulders. Breathing in. 2 more. And then hold for just a second. And then roll on down. Then go ahead and tuck your tailbone up, keeping the legs straight. Bring it down. Really stay neutral in your shoulders, pressing into my palms. Rolling down through your spine, tucking it, lifting, rolling down, up, and then lifting up and holding. See if you can lift a leg, lower. You gotta really press into the ball foot. Really pressing into the ball foot as I lift the other foot, really pressing. We'll do 4 more. Pushing into the hands as well, opening through the chest. Nice deep breaths. 1 more time. I'm going to lower that foot down, roll down. I'm going to reach my hands up. I'm going to take my hands above my chest. I'm going to push into that ball. And you're going to roll on up and take a big, deep stretch here. Now I'm going to come on to my stomach and bring the ball in between my calves or my ankles. I'm going to really try to get a good grip and probably towards the lower part. And I'm going to take my hands underneath my forehead and I'm going to draw my shoulders away from my ears. And I'm going to really tuck my tailbone down so that I can really get a long lower. I'm going to lift the ball and lower a few times. These are hard. And that might just be good for you, just the lifting and lowering. And if you can, lift, bend, stretch, release. These are grasshoppers. Lift. And I'm staying really equal. And you've got to squeeze into the ball the whole time. Lift, bend, stretch, release, lift, bend, stretch, release, lift, bend. 2 more, lift, bend. 1 more time, lift, bend, stretch, release. And from here, and let's go into a side position. So I'm just going to roll onto my side, keep the ball by your ankles, and come onto your side. I'm going to come all the way down, and I'm going to take 1 elbow onto the mat, and I'm going to take that hand to hold his head. This hand can be here or here. I'm going to start with it here. I'm going to keep my feet, I think, parallel, and I am going to bring my feet a little bit in front, so I'm not totally in a straight line. It's just going to help with balance, and I'm going to lift my feet and lower. Lift, lower. Now I'm going to try to stay straight on my hips. So I don't want the tendency of me to kind of roll back. And I want to keep this hip lifted to the ceiling. And then try some with the hand behind the knee, above the neck. And I'll lengthen out just a little bit there. Give me 4 more. 3, 2. I'm going to hold it and squeeze, 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 squeeze. 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to take my legs up and then just bring it over to the other side. So I'll start with the hand down. I'll squeeze the ball, lift, lower, keeping the hip really stacked above the other hip. Drawing the belly muscles in, no movement in the torso. And then if it feels good, you can take the other hand behind the neck, reaching the elbow up. Drawing the belly muscles in. Squeezing the ball the whole time. Just a few more, exhaling and inhaling. And then you'll hold it up and squeeze. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1. From there, we're gonna come on up. And bring the ball to your thighs. So I'm kneeling first. I'm gonna bring the ball to my thighs. And I'm gonna bring my belly up to the ball. And you might need to clear your space a little bit. And I'm gonna bring the ball underneath my thighs and my hips. And from here, I have my hands a little bit forward and I'm gonna really spread through my fingers and really draw my belly muscles in. I'm gonna bend my elbows and sort of tilt, or definitely tip my chest down and let my legs kind of lift up. And then extend, and you'll see I come back to this kind of plank position. I'm really gonna squeeze my abs and my butt a little bit. Everything stays long. Now I'm gonna squeeze my thighs a little bit more, right? I'm really gonna like squeeze all the muscles around the thigh bone. I'm gonna lower, I'm gonna bend, keeping weight in the lower sort of part of the butt movement, then come up with straight legs. So I'll bend my elbows, hold down here, bend my knees, extend, up, abs are in tight, bend, bend, extend, reach, bend, bend, extend, and reach. One more time. Abs stay super tight. Bend, bend, extend, and reach. I'm gonna come down to my knees and reach the ball in front, take child's pose with my hands on the ball. I'm gonna really scoop up my stomach and get a big deep stretch here. You can take one hand onto the ball and really, really stretch the other hand underneath an armpit and do the same thing on the other side. Now we're gonna come back into a similar position and do full push-ups. You can always keep the ball under your thighs to make things a little bit easier. I'm gonna bring the ball to my ankles and do more of a full push-up. So you kind of come into it the same, but then you'll want to bring the ball towards your low leg. And the closer to your toes you go, the more challenging these will get. My arms are out wide. Press your legs into the ball, squeeze your shoulder blades onto your spine, really lift your belly. Make sure you're not arching your spine. And let's do 8 push-ups. Bending, stretching, bending. Right, I'm activating my glutes, my thighs. Breathing in, breathing out, in, out. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna bend my knees in and bring my knees all the way down and slide off to come up. Now we're gonna stand up with the ball on one side and take one foot forward, sort of facing the ball, and grab the ball. I'm coming into a split position now, or a lunge position, and my feet are parallel, my back heel is high. I'm gonna lift the ball to chest height and just do a few lunges, squaring off the hips. Remember, making them big will be hard. Just a few more here and then I'll add on. I'm going up and down like a merry-go-round. Bottom knee reaches to the floor, crown of the head stays on the ceiling. And then I'll hold it. The lower that you hold, the more challenging it'll be. And twist. I'll squeeze the ball. Twist. 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 And 3, 2, 1. I'll slide the ball down. I'm gonna place that foot onto the ball and just see if I can bring my hands into a prayer. Just do a few front lunges here. You can always hold on to something like bringing your ball closer to a wall. And I'm gently pressing my top of my foot into the ball. My torso does come a little forward on these. 2 more. 1 more. Awesome, I'll slide the ball forward and change sides. Back heel is gonna stay up. front knee bends. Grab the ball. Square off your hips. Make sure both feet are parallel. Draw your shoulders back. Bring the ball above or back to chest height. Bend your knees to lower down. Squeeze the ball gently. Knee glides right over that midfoot. Top of the head stays on the ceiling. A few more here and then we'll do the twists. Now hold, twist, center, twist. Remember, the lower you go, the harder these will get. Breathing in and out. Last 3, twist, in, center, out, center, in, center, out, and in, out. Now bring your foot onto the wall, place the ball on the floor. Try that you're almost keeping this leg straight. Hands can be on the hips, holding on to something. I'm gonna come into a prayer pose. I'm gonna bend the knees, sliding the ball back almost. Come up. Bend, bend, bend. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale down. Inhale up. Feel it through that whole stabilizing leg. Breathing in and breathing out. 3 more. Definitely a challenge. And 1 more. Bring it on up. Come on down. And come into a kneeling lunge. You can pad your knee if you like. And now bring one foot back and use that foot to really get a nice quad stretch on that back leg in your kneeling lunge position. Drop that top shoulder and come into maybe a little bit deeper. Now I'm going to slide forward so I don't hit into the lantern, but you can also come here. So I lifted my knee up and I'll just take it into a little bit of a higher lunge and then I'll change sides. So carefully lower into a kneeling lunge. And then maybe place your hands down, come up, and just give that hip a little bit of a stretch. I hope you enjoyed the workout. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I do a lot of fun workouts, do some cosplay workouts. Let me know what you want to see next. Comment below, and I'm also over on Instagram, TikTok, all of that. So, and I post there very regularly, so I'd love to see you there as well.